Hello everybody and welcome to the Ant Haul for Extra channel. Today we will be doing a little All My Ants 2023 beginning of the year. Now, who put this here? Alright, I got a lot of stuff the other day from Aesthetic Ants. I'm yet to find out where to put everything. But yeah guys, this is of course the ant room. Now this changes almost every week. We have new things coming back forward. Ants, more ants, more ants, more ants, more ants, more ants. So let me just do a species count. So I haven't actually counted. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 ant species as of beginning of 2023. And I'm expecting to get at least 2 more in the upcoming months. So yeah, let's just go into the first colony. So right now I'm working on a video with this carpenter ant colony, the Camponotus nicobarensis. They are living in this beautiful, beautiful Toronto wooden ant nest. And I have this light over here who always shines up here, so I always get a little bit of light on them. But as you can see, this is the colony. Now these are about, I think they're 2 years old. I'm not too sure. And you can see that they are very happy in here. I've just received, given them some blue sugar. So they have some blue gases. Some of them, we have some very nice larvae, some very big larvae. So that's very nice. Now the queen is quite hard to find. She always seems to be around this connector right here. So in down here, up here, or in here. And she tends, every time I actually record her with the proper light, she hides within this connection piece. So she is most likely based somewhere around this region. And as you can see by the small amounts or quite a few eggs and larvae, we have some eggs and larvae here, we have some more eggs up here, or larvae, some more eggs and larvae up here. The colony is generally doing quite well. And at the moment I'm feeding them twice a week, but I'm considering boosting them a lot more to feed them daily, just because I would like them to fill a little bit more of this space. Now I have purposely not opened the next section because down here they have put a little bit, oh hang on, they've cleaned it, but they have had trash down here. So therefore I haven't decided to open the next part just yet. Now this wooden nest is heated out here on the side, so it's heated in this portion and down in this portion. And the first few weeks you could really see that the ants were up here and down here, but now you can't really see that too much. Now this is an almost all Toronto setup. We have the massive Toronto nest, which leads down to here to the big Toronto outworld. This is where I'm feeding them sugar. When I'm feeding them sugar, I fed them a little bit today. So you can see some very nice and blue gasters. Now the first few weeks I used the green antimatters liquid feeders to give them water. I don't give them a constant sugar supplies, but I give them water in those. But they kept emptying them quite quickly, and I saw it. EA Aesthetic Ants sent me this. So this is of course the antimatter tower. And yeah, I really love this. I've been waiting so long to actually use it. And as you can see, now we have 2 waters up here. Now I've decided to remove the middle part so they can easily get down and drink. Because when I had sugar in them, they drowned in the sugar, but it seems with water, they're not as eager. And therefore I have not, I've removed the things that go down the middle. We do have these small things. Hang on, I think they're right over here. So I'm yet to clean everything up. I just lost that, I need that. You put these down, and that way you can ensure that the ants don't drown. So I also gave them a jelly pot to see what they would do, and in a matter of under 24 hours it looked like this. So they really liked that jelly pot. And that's just the Camponotus nicobarensis update. Hopefully there will be a video on the main channel in about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, we'll see. So over here we have a massive outworld, we have a massive outworld also from Aesthetic Ants. And that's because we have this Porm or Arts outworld connected to this small or medium Aesthetic Ants outworld, connected to the large white tongue nest also from Aesthetic Ants. Now, this colony needs more space. They are about max capacity in here. They are very nicely filling out. These are of course my long-legged ants, aka my Novomessa cockerelli, who have been cursed and have been doing so bad for so long, and they're finally doing well. I'm also only feeding these twice a week. But you can see here that they are quite busy, still working. And as you can see over here, they have a lot of trash, and I like how they really cut the roaches down. So I actually gave them big roaches, like you can see here. If we just take the lid off, you can see I give them fully sized roach pieces. and they slowly cut it into small pieces and transfer them over to the trash. Now, the big reason why I would like a bigger outworld is because it's quite hard to feed them in here because of the small lid and the amount of workers we have. We can also see another antimatter liquid feeder in the white version in here that is about to need a refill. So yeah, that's the Nova Mesa Cockerelli, and as you can also see, I am heating them. They're supposed to be like up here, I think, the heat cable, but it doesn't matter too much. You can see one side is heated, and of course the entire room is also heated by this bad boy. So we have around 24 degrees, 25 degrees in the room, and I'm also heating them right here. And that's a little bit about the Nova Mesa Cockerelli. Now my future plans is to add this outworld, to add this nest into this outworld, and oh, I put it on top. Oh, how dumb of me. Let me just put that here. Now I received this nest and this nest from Aesthetic Ants the other week, the other day. And I'm gonna move the Nova Mesa Cockerelli into the bottom one, I think, to see rather they prefer the small or the big chambers. Because the only thing I don't really like about this nest is it's very hard to look inside, because this is the very big, it's very high walls in this one. You can of course get lower walls, but it's quite big ants. So therefore I asked for the higher walls, and that perhaps was a mistake because it's quite hard to both record and look inside. And this should be a lot easier to look inside. Now Aesthetic said I could do this, so put them like this or something. So you can stack them or something, a little bit like the Venus laptop module. Not the Venus, the Wakushi laptop module. I'm yet to think whether I want to do this or not. I haven't come too far in my plans. Just gonna put this back again. Yes, there we go. All right, so next on the list is the Tetramorium bicarinatum. Now, due to me having the light available, let me just turn it on. Yeah. And then we can look at the Tetramorium bicarinatum. Now, this is one of the colonies I actually limit quite a lot on feeding. I don't feed them too much, but you can see that they are very busy with done in making tunnels and all kind of funny business. This is, of course, the Ant Store World of Arts Dig Fix Nest, or the Ant Tube one, is it actually renamed to, I think. But you can see that they have a lot of brood, and especially out here in the tube, they also have a lot of brood on both sides, you can also see. Now, this was not meant for them initially. I bought them from Mr. Barber, so that's why I bought a thick one, because you can also buy a smaller one so you can see a little bit better inside. Now, in the outworld, we have a lot of ants down here. And again, they've of course also built here on the back side, but I've just decided to put this side front. We have the Antimatters liquid feeders once more inside this Wakushi outworld, and I really need to clean up in here, but it's just very hard to clean these ants, and I'm yet to find a good solution. I have been a little bit scared of mites because I had some very humid days in there, and I'm not too happy with the setup, to be honest. I would like to fix it and make it a little bit better. I'm yet to find out how though. Next to them, we have the species that have just come out of hibernation in about a week or 2 weeks ago, the Camponotus ligniperta experiment. And you can see we have some nice piles of eggs with both the queens. Both of the queens have laid eggs in the beginning of this year. And we have about 10-15 workers, which is not the biggest. And I'm not expecting them to grow that large. I'm yet to find out where I want to use these liquid feeders. I had a thought to just give them one of these, but I don't think so. And you can see in the outworld I have not cleaned this yet. I mean, I have cleaned them, but I have not cleaned today. And you can see we have a little bit of different things. I'm limiting the sugar supply this year because last year they really stalled. I'm losing my breath. Last year they really stalled. They had a lot of larvae and they just did not grow. And I thought that was maybe because I filled the gases up with sugar and then they didn't have protein to feed the larvae. I don't know. But in here we have the Camponotus herculinus. And as you can see, this brood pile in here, hang on, let me just, of course, on the extra channel videos, we do like to do it one record of everything. So let me just swap this around like this. This queen in here is very skittish. She is almost, every time I look at her, she runs out and do all kind of funny business. I think she has to get used to the light again after being in the dark for about, yeah, half a year, not half a year, but a lot of time. You can see they have a massive brood pile now. Both the Herculinus and the Ligniperta ate that brood during hibernation because I tried not feeding them at all this year, which is the first time I've done it, and the colonies ate that brood, so that was not something that worked. But you can see we have a very nice egg pile in here. I mean, what is that? That's about maybe 30, 40 eggs in here. But of course they did well last year in the beginning as well. Hang on, can we just put it in here? As you can see, the queen is not happy. sorry, Herculinus queen. Now over here we have the flowers. Of course, all of these three setups are the Wakushi Saturn mediums, which I really like for general ant keeping. They work very nice, but they're just not too easy to record inside of. That's the only thing. That's why I don't use more of them, because they're hard to record inside of. I need to sneeze really bad, but let's see when it happens. Now in here we have the flowers. Now I'm just gonna do a little bit like this so I can get them in here. Then we can get this baby out and turn it around. Here we are. So last year when we started, I think we had 4 flowers queens. Now we're down to 2, and actually, to be honest, I actually haven't looked at the flowers at all this year so far. Can we just, I have this beautiful light. It's a bit hard to adjust one-handed. Here we are, like this, a lot better. Very hot lamp, but gives a lot of light if I wanted to. All right, so that did not help at all, but you can see we have the flowers. This is what I mean with the Saturn. I mean, it's quite hard to record, but we can see there are some eggs in there, and I will just follow that progress. Yeah, I'll say it like that. I'll just follow that progress. All right. So next we have this Outworld, which is meant for the Nova Metacocorelli one day to move into, dealing with a little bit of mold, and I don't really care. I don't use it. I've gone a little bit away from wanting to use it, so I'm just letting it do as it do. Now over here we have the leaf cutters, and the leaf cutters have experienced a massive change. They kept escaping, so after a lot of weeks of they escaped pretty much every day from the old setup. It was way too much DIY. It was just not good, and I decided to empty the other fungus containers and let the colony downsize quite a bit, which is something I didn't want to do, but I had to do it because they were just not good enough. They kept escaping, and it was a very big hassle, and I could not let them be for one day without checking on them because they would escape. So that's not too nice. Now, in this past few weeks, there's really no leaves in Denmark almost. So it's very hard for me to give them leaves. That's why the fungus have shrunk. I mean, it's full again in about a week, and then it'll die down. It's very dependent on how much leaf I can find. But we are really in the worst time of the year because it's right before all the good leaves starts growing. But yet at the point where there's no good leaves. So I'm feeding them store-bought products. I don't really like that, so I'm feeding them mostly outside leaves, but they are also starting to turn bad. And yeah, it's just the worst time, but you can see they are cutting in here because I did feed them yesterday. All right, so next we have one of the colonies I'm really not sure what to do with anymore. I think these Metabarbaras in here have suffered from not hibernating correctly the past 2 years because they've really done bad this year. The only good thing with them doing so poorly is that next year I can hibernate them correctly. Now, last year I tried to hibernate them. It failed quite a lot because I simply don't have a cold room. I only have at least 19 degrees room throughout my house, throughout the hallways where I live. I don't have anywhere to put them that is cool enough. You can see we have a lot of ants in the outworld as well. I need to clean out in here. I clean out this whole pile every few weeks or so, but I give them a lot of water and I give them quite a bit of protein. They soon also need seeds. But yeah, the colony is just dying faster than they are growing. And I actually haven't seen the queen for about 3 weeks or so. So I saw the queen not that long ago, but I haven't spotted her for quite some time. And it's not the queen we have here, it's just one of the many maters in here. So I don't know what to say with the Metabarbaras, except I'm just monitoring them and seeing what's going on. So over to the new ants. Say new ants. Can I get the lamp with me? Let me just get the lamp over here. Swing it around like this. I mean, that should in theory have helped a little bit. All right. So 3 days ago, I think, I got this lovely Camponotus singularis queen from a new, or as far as I know, a new store called The Ant Merchant. It's a store that is on Instagram, and if you know Stein, he's one of the 2 who runs the store. The colony itself is looking really nicely with a lot of brood. Now, after I moved them in here, they have been acting a little bit weird, and I'm talking with Stein about actually just moving them back into a normal test tube setup because that worked a lot better. They seem to be a little bit confused with this whole sand area out here. So maybe if I see another dead worker. We lost 3 workers 2 days after the shipping, which is very bad. So if I see one more dead worker, I will stop everything and try to just keep them in dark and test tube in as common area as possible. But for now, we'll just see what happens. They seem to be a little bit more normal. It was only the first day and a half that they were acting very strangely. Now over here is some more Aesthetic Ants products. I've received a lot of the Aesthetic Ants products, and here we have the last 2 and the last 2 colonies that I'm actually really excited for this year. So back on the channel, or back in my ant keeping, we have Harpygnathus venators, the jumping ants. And as you can see, we have about 5 eggs in here. Now I thought they laid the eggs after they moved in here, but they actually laid the eggs before. So it's just lovely. There should be around 2 queens in here. I have not confirmed that there is 2, but I've confirmed 1 queen is alive. But I'm yet to be able to feed them. I fed them a pre-killed cricket out here, and they didn't take them. So I fed this morning a roach, and they didn't take it. They've just covered it up in dirt. I actually had to go in and open the door because they covered the door with dirt so badly that I decided, you know what, I have to take the tube out. And I was correct. They had completely closed it off so they couldn't get into the outworld. So I opened it up and gave them a small roach, and they went out to look at it, but they didn't eat it. So I decided to cut the head off so it was a lot easier for them to hunt it. And Jacob just buried it down here. So I'm looking for your ideas to what to come with these girls. I mean, my fiance just thinks I should leave them alone, and they will open the door once they need protein. And I guess that is one of the good ways to just do it. Leave them alone and see what the ants want. I'm just gonna remove the light again, put the light a little bit closer if I can. It's a little bit hard to do one-handed. Very hard to do one-handed if the cord doesn't want to do what I want. Alrighty. Okay, so in here we have Octontomyrmex Monte Carlo, I think that's called. Octontomyrmex Monte Carlo, aka Trapjaws. And you can see that it's a very beautiful colony. Now, by far the colony I've looked most at the past 24 hours. I fed them a cricket, and they bit off a dead cricket, and they bit off the leg and took it in here and ate the cricket. Only a little bit. So I decided, you know what, I see I'm gonna get some good clips for my shorts and all of that. So I fed them a small roach, which they had a tough fight with. But in the end, I decided to cut the head off because they were a little bit too confused. And I want to train them a little bit by pre-killing the food just a slightly bit before putting it in. And you can see that is the remainings of the roach over here. So they haven't eaten too much, but they have been in and been biting the legs off and stuff like that. So that's nice. The colony itself is crazy active. I really love looking at them. And we have 1 queen in here. Sadly, no eggs yet. So we will just have to wait and see what they decide to do. Finally, over here, we have, by the way, these both setups from Aesthetic Ants. Here we are, both from Aesthetic Ants. And the colonies are also from Aesthetic Ants. Finally, here we have the Ants & Co. Ball and Queen. Now I don't want to disturb her too much. I don't want to take this red cover off at all because I am in non-disturbing mode. This is really hot. I think I'm just going to turn the lights off. Hang on. Bam! Alright. Will this help? I doubt it will help. Either way, the queen in here is, you can see we have 1 cocoon. And the queen is also still alive. So we have 1 cocoon and a live queen. After the larvae made a cocoon, she's not at all active out in the outworld, which is fine. I give her water by spraying the outworld and also putting water on some cotton in here. Aesthetic, he said, just spray the outworld and they'll drink the drops from the outworld. So that's what I've done from now on with the bull and queen. But in the beginning, I just gave her a little bit of cotton right here. So yeah. I'm really interested to see how these 3 colonies will do. Also the singulars, I hope they don't continue that little bit of a small die-off that they've had. Mesobarbarus, I mean, the queen is from 2019, so she has had a long life, but I think what's going wrong at the moment is that they are failing a little bit after hibernation didn't do so well. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the 2 Camponotus European will do, the Herculinus and the Ligniperta. because they have just been booming so far with the Brood. I have some big plans for Tetamorin by Carinatum regarding some Gen 4 stuff this year. I don't want to boost them too much until Gen 4 is out. That's the Wakushi Gen 4, of course. And I'm really also just loving this wooden ant nest we have right over here. The Foronto wooden ant nest. But yeah, guys, that has been a little bit of the 2023 ant keeping. I'm really excited for this year. Really exciting where the YouTube channel will bring me. I hope I'm in focus and all of that. I may not be in focus, but it doesn't matter. You can hear my voice. Thank you all for 10,000 subscribers on the main channel. I'm really stoked about that. So nice. A very cool achievement. On TikTok, we right now have 166,000 followers. On Instagram, we right now, I mean, I don't go into numbers, but it's cool to compare in the end of the year. Instagram, we have 236,000 followers. So Insta, 236. TikTok, 166. And Facebook, we have, I think, 200 followers. On the extra channel, we have 3,200 something along those lines. And the main channel, we have about 10,500 subscribers. So it'll be very interesting to compare this to the end of the year. But I want to say thank you for watching this extra channel video. And see you all in another video. Now I have to do this while I'm not looking at the camera. So bye!